93 to correct last night's homework. So we had page 93 and 94, number 1, 3, 11, 12, and 14. So for number 1, they set it up for you. They stacked it. You needed to fill them in and drop down the decimal point and solve. So you should have added a 0 next to the 2, and your answer should have been 23 and 28 hundredths. Raise your hand if you got number 1 correct. Raise your hand if you got number 1 correct. Okay. Awesome. Did anyone happen to see a silly mistake that they may have made in number 1? Okay, awesome. Philip, put your book away. Why isn't your math workbook open? Page 93. Then we have number 3. So number 3, again, they stacked it for you. There weren't any spaces to fill in, so you didn't have to add a 0 up top, but you did need to drop down the decimal and solve. So 45 and 6/10 plus 26 and 3/10 equals 71 and 9/10. Raise your hand if you got number 3 correct. Raise your hand if you got number 3 correct. Awesome. Philip, your workbook still is not open. Page 93. Awesome. Did we have questions on number 1 or number 3? Emmy, do you have a question? Okay. All right. Then we had number 11. So number 11, we had 3 numbers to add. And remember, you could stack all 3 numbers together and add them all at once, or you could add 2 numbers together, get that answer. What? Yeah, so you could add them all together, or you could add 2 numbers first, then add that 3rd number. So, 95, that's what you're saying. Well, you were saying since we were adding, we could add the whole numbers first, then add the decimals. Got it, I understand what you were saying. So yes, that is a 3rd way you could have done it. But that only works with adding. Okay, so when we add 8 and 32 hundredths plus 95 plus 12 and 68 hundredths, we should have wound up with 116. Raise your hand if you got number 11 correct. Okay. Did anyone happen to see a silly mistake they may have made on number 11? Yeah? Okay. Yep, that happens. That's okay. Then we had number 12. So number 12, we were subtracting. We were taking 57 and 3/10 minus 42 and 81 hundredths. When we subtract them, we should have gotten 14 and 49 hundredths. Raise your hand if you got number 12 correct. Okay. Did anyone happen to make a silly mistake on number 12? Okay. Yep, that happens. That happens. As long as you know what that mistake was. Are there questions on the first page of our homework? Any questions? Okay. Let's move on then to our last problem, which was number 14. So for number 14, it said, Trey wrote 9 and 9 hundredths minus 1/10 equals 9 and 8 hundredths. Is his answer correct? Why or why not? Everyone should have said no. How you explained it, though, could be different. My book chose to say no. The decimal points must be lined up when subtracting. The correct answer is 8 and 99 hundredths. So my book chose to explain, well, no, it's not correct because they must not have lined up the decimal points. You also could have said, no, it's not correct because Trey subtracted from the hundredths place when he was supposed to subtract from the tenths place. Yep, so you could have said that. You also could have said, he didn't write it correctly when he was stacking them up. Is there anyone else who had a different explanation? Zoe, what did you say? Yeah, he didn't subtract it correctly. Philip, what did you say?
I said no because that is in because that thing because the 1 is in the 10th place and the 9 is in the 100th place.
Awesome, thank you, and you can go to the bathroom. Are there any other explanations that people would like to share? Okay, how many of you at least agreed that he was incorrect? You said no, that his answer was not correct. Okay, awesome. Yep. Yeah, if you look at it real quick, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's fine. But then you're like, wait a minute, the 1 is in the 10th place. The 9, or the second 9, is in the 100th place. Emmy? Oh, Zoe? Yes. Is there any other questions on number 14? Okay. Then number 12 for Zoe. There's number 12. What? Yeah. Okay. Overall, 1 through 5, how do we feel about this homework assignment? Show me on your hand. 1 through 5, how did we feel? Awesome. Awesome. Eosius? Thank you. All right. Will, what number are you holding up? Thank you. Yes, Richie. Put your hands down. Oh, yeah. You did number 19? Okay. Yep, right here. Awesome. Yeah, if you guys ever do extra homework problems because you want more practice, let me know, and we can look up. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, any questions on homework? All right, nice job.